In 2003, New York City was facing a pet overpopulation crisis. Due to a lack of services and resources that were just not available, highly adoptable animals, cats and dogs that ended up in the city shelter were being euthanized daily. In fact, the euthanasia rate was over 75%, meaning less than 25% of shelter pets were making it out alive. And there was no plan to change that. That's why the Mayor's Alliance was created. That was the mission of the Mayor's Alliance for New York City's Animals, to transform New York City into a community where no cat or dog of reasonable health or temperament would be killed simply because they didn't have a home. To make it happen, the Mayor's Alliance developed a 10-year strategic plan. We put this plan together to secure a multi-year, multi-million-dollar grant from Maddie's Fund, a family foundation in California. The 4 core objectives of the strategic plan were increase adoptions, decrease homelessness, raise awareness, and strengthen resources. What we did is put together a marketing and distribution plan. The marketing came from helping ACC develop a staff called the New Hope Department that would market animals out to its partner rescue groups and shelters, the New Hope partners, and help get those animals out of the shelter and to those partners. We had 3 key initiatives: Wheels of Hope, mega pet adoption events, and the New York City Feral Cat Initiative.
If the Mayor's Alliance was going to move animals out of ACC, we needed a way to get them out. And that's where Wheels of Hope came in. The Wheels of Hope transport program was created in 2005 to drive animals nearly 365 days a year to shelters and rescue partners within 5 hours of New York City. The Mayor's Alliance transport coordinators worked directly with the New Hope staff over at ACC to get this done.
So a typical day for a Wheels of Hope driver is to get up, get the directives the night before from the transport coordinator. And typically we hit the Staten Island shelter, the Brooklyn shelter, the Manhattan shelter, load up with the most precious, beautiful animals you could ever see in your life, and take them to either foster homes, adopted homes, vet clinics, or just rescue groups. There's a miracle in every day, there's a little sadness, but the bottom line is they're all safe. And I like to think of the Wheels of Hope as a sanctuary on wheels. This one day, I went to the Manhattan shelter and I walked into the New Hope office, and when they brought my animal out, it was Bella, a magical little creature on a cart. She went to the little shelter in Long Island, and they all came out to greet her. And I love that every time we drop animals off, there's always one that turns around and kind of gives us a nod. And Bella did that day. We've set up triage, we've had births, we've had very sick animals, but the bottom line is they all made it out and safely got there through the Wheels of Hope.
The Wheels of Hope program is entirely unique. There's no other program like it, and it was wildly successful. Since 2005, we've saved more than 100,000 shelter pets by getting them out of the shelter and into the hands of rescue and shelter partners who had the capacity to find those animals new homes.
When the Mayor's Alliance was just beginning, the idea of large adoption events was new to New York City. People didn't want to go to shelters. So we recognized how important it was to bring the animals directly to them in family-friendly environments. The Mayor's Alliance was the first umbrella organization in New York City and brought so many different rescue groups and shelters together under one common mission. And so that's why we began to stage these multi-group adoption events. And so these events, which brought the groups together in one place, actually became a physical manifestation of that collaboration. As the years went on, those events grew. Part of the reason was because more groups joined the Alliance. So we had more and more groups joining, more animals for adoption. We added activities, family-friendly activities. We began to get more and more media coverage. After 5 or 6 years, we'd outgrown what we were doing.
That's right, we did. And that's why we created New York City's first mega pet adoption event, what's now known as Adoptapalooza, and we host it biannually in Union Square Park thanks to the generous support of the Petco Foundation. And it's really an educational platform. Not only do we bring 40 groups there that are from our alliance, and we have adoptable animals available, but we also educate people who already have pets or might be looking to open their home to an animal. So we have licensing, microchipping, we talk about emergency preparedness with your pet. And that's really important because we want people to not only adopt, but make sure that these animals stay in these homes and that they're cared for responsibly. Bottom line, these events work. We have helped place 17,000 animals in loving and responsible homes since we started the Adoptapalooza platform.
If you're going to reduce the number of animals coming into municipal shelters, you have to take on the issue of community cats. Community cats are stray cats who are lost or abandoned pets, but most of them are feral cats. These are cats who grew up without the benefit of close human contact, so they are afraid of us. They view us as predators. So the NYC Feral Cat Initiative was created with the goal of humanely controlling the population of community cats through trap-neuter-return, or TNR. Trap-neuter-return is the humane capture of community cats using humane traps, and then they are taken to a veterinarian where they are spayed or neutered, given a rabies vaccination, and an ear tip to identify them as community cats who have been through TNR. Here in New York, TNR is too big a job for any single agency to tackle. So the NYC Feral Cat Initiative served as a support system for individuals and grassroots organizations to train them in the process. We did this by offering TNR certification workshops. These workshops allowed participants to receive free services, including traps they could borrow, free spay-neuter, ear tipping and vaccinations, transportation from Wheels of Hope and others, a dedicated TNR certified caretaker help desk, and networking through our colony registry. We also offered other free deep dive workshops on special TNR related topics, including bottle feeding kittens, taming feral kittens for adoption, enhancing neighborhood relations, and building winter shelters. We often hear questions from people in the community. why don't you just get rid of the cats? Here's what we tell people. When you take cats out of an environment, there's a vacuum. And it's going to be filled before long by more cats who are going to just breed back up to capacity. You don't solve the population problem by just taking cats away and bringing them to the shelter. And if there isn't any mechanism for getting feral cats out of the shelter alive, if the only choices are adoption, return to owner, these cats have no owner, or euthanasia, then you're going to end up euthanizing a lot of feral cats if they're brought to the shelter. It's expensive, it creates great emotional stress on the shelter workers, and it doesn't solve the problem at all. The benefits of TNR that we explain to folks is that you end up with fewer cats, less noise from the yowling and fighting, less smell from the unneutered tomcat spray, but you still have cats in place for free, natural, non-toxic rodent control. And for people who like the cats and worry about their health, we explain that cats end up healthier after TNR. They're no longer fighting, they're no longer having litter after litter of kittens, they're no longer driven by their hormones. They actually kind of look both ways before they cross the street. So these cats after TNR are likely to live longer and much, much healthier lives. It's so important to get the community involved in TNR, and doing it in a positive, results-oriented way is really key. If you're explaining the benefits to individuals, to organizations, to the community, that's how you gain traction for TNR. We go out and we talk to school groups from preschool to high school. We talk to Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, NYPD Explorers. We talk to NYPD precincts. We talk to Fire Department, Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, Parks Department, all sorts of city agencies. And we explain the benefits of TNR. We explain how it works and that it has worked. And if anybody is reluctant to let us try, we just say, well, let's do a trial. Let's just try it for a few months and see how it goes. And then people start seeing results. They start seeing the lack of kittens. They start hearing less noise, and they get it. The bottom line is TNR works and it's doable in any community. I can't begin to tell you how gratifying it is when we hear from people who have done our workshop, they've done their TNR, and the neighbors see the difference. They get it and they appreciate it. You don't have to love cats. You might not like cats. You might even hate cats, but you can appreciate that community cats have a place in this city, and in any city. And there's still plenty of work to be done in New York, but thanks to the NYC Feral Cat Initiative, New York City is on the right track and doing the right thing for community cats.
The main thing about the Mayor's Alliance was we tried to meet people where they were. We tried to figure out what they needed to make them better at what they were trying to do. We tried to bring services and resources to be there for all the groups and all the shelters, and to bring them together in a collaboration. That's what you need to do. No single organization can do this alone. You have to work together. Whether you like the other person or you don't, you're all striving to do the same thing, and that's save animals. And to do that, you need to build a collaboration that works. And you can do it. It's possible. If we could do it in New York City, you can do it in your community.